Greetings and welcome to the 18th episode of Oblivion House Mod Hunters. As always, I'm your host, Dark Elf Guy, and today we have another selection of 3 housing mods for your viewing pleasure as we try and find your dream home in Cyrodiil. Now, this time around, we're actually going to be doing something just a little bit different for our theme. We're going to be looking at house mods that actually overhaul the vanilla Oblivion player homes that you can purchase in each city. And there's quite a few house mods that overhaul these player homes, so we're probably going to have to cover more of them in future themed episodes as well, since we only have, 3 mods per episode. But anyway, you can find down the links for all mods shown down in the video description below. So let's get started with our popular house mod of the week, which this week is Better Bravil House for Sale by Side777. And quite obviously, this is an overhaul for the shack that you can buy in Bravil, and it doesn't really, change anything on the exterior. This is the same old shack that you can buy from the Count of Bravil here for a measly 4,000 gold. Of course, you still have to purchase the upgrades first. And you can see this place on the map here real quick, and of course as a vanilla Oblivion player home, it doesn't have a map marker, but since it's in the middle of town, it doesn't really matter. And this mod largely overhauls just the interior of the Bravil shack, completely replacing the old shack interior with a new layout and lots of new furniture and details. Though of course you still need to buy the upgrades to finish this place, and one of the things that you're going to notice here is that you'll have to go through and light each of the individual light sources in here before things start to light up a bit, since it starts out as a pretty dark interior. And here you can see a fully finished, upgraded and lit interior for the Bravil shack with this overhaul installed. And it's really a very cozy little shack with all of these upgrades, not even remotely the dismal sort of place it was before. You'll find a small entry hall that leads right into the main chambers of the shack, including a lounge, dining area, kitchen, and bedroom, all rolled into one that's been nicely decorated with lots of little details. And over to the side you'll find a laundry room with a bathtub that you can use. And it should be mentioned that this mod does come with COBOL support with a number of COBOL features. And there's one last small room to point out here, a small study with a desk, bookshelves and paintings. There's not a whole lot of display space in here, but the entire shack is certainly, quite atmospheric and cozy feeling. And overall, this is a wonderful little overhaul for one of the smallest player homes that you can purchase in vanilla Oblivion, including fully decorated and cozy chambers with an alchemy station, study, support for various COBOL features, assuming, you have that mod installed, and just a lot of details in general, the cool manual lighting effects and all that. And if you're planning to move to Bravil anytime soon, you might want to give this mod a try. Next up we have our new house mod of the week, and this week we have Leyawiin House Overhaul by Jigganine. And this is a fairly simple and straightforward overhaul of the Leyawiin player home, as the name of the mod would suggest, and it kind of spruces up the exterior of the cottage that you can buy just a bit, with some additional vines and flowers. And before we go inside, you can see this house on the map here, and again, because this is a player home overhaul, it does not include a map marker, but it is right in the middle of town, so it has a pretty short commute overall. And going right inside, one of the first really big changes that you'll notice is that you no longer have to purchase any upgrades for this house individually. Now it just comes, completely finished when you buy it, which is pretty convenient, I gotta say. The house is composed of just 2 rooms, a main commons area with a lounge, dining room, and storage, as well as a small bedroom off to the side with a master bed, desk, some additional storage, and there's also a bookshelf in here. And there's also a fair bit of, pretty simple decorations in here as well. And this is a pretty lore-friendly overhaul of the Leyawiin house in general. And overall, this is a simple and lightweight player home overhaul that just, touches up the cottage in Leyawiin a bit. It's nicely finished and decorated and comes fully supplied as soon as you buy the house. So no running to the store to buy decorations for each individual room. And if you're looking for something simple and lore-friendly in Leyawiin, this might be a good house mod to check out. And finally, we have our underrated house mod of the week. And this week we have Skingrad House Basement, Rosethorn Hall by Matt G. And this is quite obviously a player home overhaul for Rosethorn Hall, the house that you can buy in Skingrad. And it doesn't do too much to the exterior here. I believe it might add a couple of furnishings to the upper balcony, but the majority of changes are inside. But of course, let's just take a quick look at the map here. Rosethorn Hall does not have a map marker, but it is right next to one of the city gates. So it's pretty convenient overall with a really short commute to get to anything. And going inside, you'll find a pretty large manor, including an entry hall with a roaring fireplace, a dining room off to the side, with display cases and shelves, not to mention an upstairs balcony that overlooks everything. And right across from the entry hall is the main staircase heading up to the 2nd floor. And going upstairs, you'll find more shelving units that can be used for display purposes. There's also display cases, and there's also a fair bit of storage over on the balcony alcove overlooking the dining room, as we can see here. There's also a large master bedroom up in the attic, including a roaring fireplace, a desk, bookshelves, some display cases, and this overhaul actually, kind of touches a bit in each of the vanilla rooms of Rosethorn Hall. And you also find a set of enchanting and spellmaking orbs available for your convenience, as well as labeled containers for storing ingredients or other magical items. But the really big addition here is a set of rooms in the basement, including a decent-sized display and storage hall, several display cases ready to use, some open tables, and a number of chests for storing and organizing items. And also included down here is a set of servants' quarters that, can also work as a guest bedroom for a companion, with a small little study area and dining area for them to use, as well as a bed, of course, and a bunch of minor decorations and the like. And anyway, this overhaul includes a lot of nice features, such as, a display hall, extra storage, additional decorations, orbs of enchanting and spellmaking labeled storage containers, and of course, a guest bedroom. It's certainly a nice touch-up for Rosethorn Hall, and definitely worth checking out if you're looking for a new home in Skingrad. And that pretty much concludes everything I've got for this episode of Oblivion House Mod Hunters. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next week with a random selection of house mods for your viewing pleasure.